This entrepreneur is only 30 years old, and last year his company made over $30 million by selling and renovating old mobile homes. His ultimate goal is to provide affordable housing in the San Francisco Bay Area, and he has done so by finding a niche in the marketplace and capitalizing on it. So whether you're looking to start your own side hustle or business, learn what Franco Perez did and how you can replicate it to your own success.
My name is Franco Perez. I have a company called Franco Mobile Homes where we convert a lot of old mobile homes in very metro areas and turn it into very sexy looking mobile homes. We call them sexy mobile homes actually. You know, I grew up in the Philippines. I remember it vividly being in a very poverty area. I was in the province of the Philippines growing up as a kid, and I loved it so much. And then moved here, had an unfortunate situation where my dad left the country, and I had to support my single mom and my younger sister. And I had to drop out of college right after high school and just go straight out into working. During that time, it was one of the hardest times of my life, really. It was so painful, just trying to make ends meet, just trying to wait for my check so that I can pay my rent, pay my bills. I was so behind on debt. I could barely collect coins to pay for gas during the time.
What job did you have back then?
I believe I was like working at a phone company. It was a mix of different jobs at a time.
So you didn't own your own business back then?
No, didn't own my own business or anything like that. But just making ends meet was such a painful time for me, and I was so afraid. What really drove me to make ends meet was worrying if my sister was going to be able to make it, knowing that we didn't always have a home to stay if I couldn't afford to pay the bills. And I never wanted to be in that situation again. I never wanted to feel that fear again. But going through that experience is what really got me so driven to trying to figure out how can we help people that are going through that pain right now, of paying bills and feeling like they have no opportunity to get ahead. I went into a lot about understanding why people are stuck in that social class, and a lot of it has to do with their housing payment. And that's what really drove me to trying to figure out how can we get better housing options for lower income families that really need it, for people that are really good, caring people that just need a little help or need a little push to get ahead. Like even, during that time, having an extra $100 a month made a huge difference. And if we just teach more people how housing can shift their life for the better, I wanted to build something that would really make that impact for people like me at that time. How do we help low income people get ahead and get in a better position? So that's what I dedicated all my work to. Woke up very early and stayed up very long nights just to try to figure this out. I worked for a real estate company for a little bit. I did that. I ended up being a good agent and grew from there. But what I found with being in real estate, you'll find that a lot of agents are their culture is to try to, especially with the media the way it is, everyone's kind of trying to help the richest people they can help find the most expensive homes that they can, and that's what's sexy to them. Because of people are watching Selling Sunset, people are watching $1 Million Listing, HGTV, and that's what's sexy for people to do and what's sexy for people to be helping. Now, after doing real estate for a while, being around people that were doing that, I really realized that this really doesn't help. It wasn't fulfilling for me because where I came from a family with a single mom where I had to support the family and struggle to pay rent. I was itching just to get the paycheck so I can pay rent and survive, right? And I remember that very vividly because it was such a painful time for me to just cover the bills. And doing what I was doing, I didn't want to help rich people get richer. I wanted to help people that were in my shoes get ahead in life. Because I feel like there's so many good people out there that are of the middle class that were in the shoes that I was in, just trying to make bills, but also trying to get ahead, get in a better situation for their family. Took a step away from real estate stuff, really tried to explore how affordable housing works. Why is housing really just benefiting the rich? How do we get a lot of these benefits of home ownership to people of the middle class or lower income so that they can reap the benefits of home ownership as well? Because we live in an area, I live in the Silicon Valley, where you're either renting at $3,500 a month or you're purchasing at $1.5 million for an average home, and there's nothing in between. So I really dug deep and tried to explore whether it's working with the government on affordable housing or rental assistance, and really stumbled across mobile homes and realized how it's a perfect environment to allow people to get out of renting, to step out of renting and get a lot of the benefits of home ownership, tax benefits, home appreciation, equity gains, and all this stuff that these homeowners are getting at a much more affordable level. And come to realize there's a lot of these mobile homes throughout all of California that we can build benefits to people like that there. So yeah, I got into just servicing mobile homes as best as we can, building value as much as we can in the mobile home world. And then we got into turning a lot of these very old 1970 homes and how can we optimize this so that it looks very sexy, just like how single family homes are being built today, right? How do we up the standard of living? Because these homes were built in the 60s and 70s, they didn't really care about space as much. How do we find these single wide homes, double the square footage, then be able to house bigger families and in a very sexy manner? So we worked on converting a lot of these old mobile homes with bad insulation, bad electricity, bad fire safety standards, and up that level of lifestyle to much nicer, more beautiful homes. And that's what we focused on for years. And now being able to do that is just so fulfilling, being able to help people get into these homes. I love the people that we help because they're really so grateful to be able to own something like this. They never thought that they'd be able to get into ownership. And it's
Especially in the Bay Area.
Especially in the Bay Area. Right. And out here, I feel like the dream of home ownership is really dying or even dead already for a lot of millennials, a lot of younger generation people. And it's so important to have an option to be able to own something in this area because it's a foundation of wealth, and we can't just leave it to only the rich to be able to afford these homes. We have to create stepping stones for people to get out of renting and migrate into home ownership. And I love what we do so much. Ever since I've helped the first family that we've helped, I've been addicted to it, and we just want to grow it from there. And then now it's all about growing more people to be able to help more people and scale from there. One of the things I love about mobile homes is that it's so misunderstood. The media portrays these parks as, like you said earlier, it's 8 Mile, M&M, trailer trash, and that's all that people know about mobile homes. That's what they see on TV. They see people growing meth. I don't know if you grow meth, but they think it's a very poverty-like area. Now, when you go into a lot of these parks, like in the Silicon Valley or in LA or in San Diego, you'll find that these parks actually look very nice, and they've developed, and that's what we do, is we work on developing these parks so they look very modern, landscaped very well, and a place to be proud of. Because it's such a misunderstood space, we're able to optimize that space and grow it in a much and showcase to people how beautiful this is. And only lately has been when we're starting to really get attention and people understand how this can really help them and how beautiful these homes can really be. That's a good question. What's interesting is that with the pandemic the way it is, it was a big change of lifestyle for people. I think for us, we've been trying to share how much of a hidden gem that this is. Us being who we are, it really helped us be able to share our messaging and share stories of people that have gotten ahead. So doing that through online has really helped us a lot. During the pandemic, people realized how much of a housing issue during the pandemic, people actually realized how much of an issue affordable housing is. People were stuck in their homes. People that are renting are usually only there a fraction of the time, maybe a third of the time. But now that they had to work from home, they realize they want more space, or that they're spending a lot on rent, and they start to actually realize that it would be nice to work from home and have more space.
Especially when you have kids, right? Or
Exactly.
pets, right?
Exactly. So when you're renting an apartment out here, $3,500 a month gets you like 800 to 1,000 square feet of space. And if you have kids or a spouse that's living with you and you're there most of the day because the kids are now taking class online, both parents are there working online, then you realize, shoot, it would be really nice to have more square footage or private office or a separate bedroom because I'm probably gonna be home more often. And then now people are starting to realize that there's a lot of features of mobile homes that really are a lot of pros to mobile homes, like having more square footage for the dollars that you spend versus renting. Also, the tax advantages, the equity advantages, the asset advantages of mobile homes as well. So we've had, during the pandemic, we had a lot of people move out of these rentals that were like 800 to 1,000 square feet and into homes that were 1,500 square feet. And many times their monthly payment was less than what they were paying on the rent. And during that time, it really helped us bolster our company because people realized the value of it. Mobile home prices, just like real estate, it'll vary based on the area. So we'll have like high-end areas like Mountain View, Sunnyvale, and then we'll have different pockets of more affordable homes. The homes like in Malibu and these mobile home parks, those go for like 1.1 million.
For a mobile home?
Yeah. So, which is insane. And then like over in Mountain View, Sunnyvale, you'll be at around 450,000 price point. And then in San Jose, for the newer homes, you'll probably be around like 380,000. When you compare these to the homes like across the street, the single family homes that are probably older and run down, you'll have single family homes across the street for like $1.8 million. Whereas where you can buy a home for $380,000 that's brand new, less on taxes and less payment on your monthly, you have more space. And it's all about like the alternatives, right? So you look at, am I gonna buy a $1.8 million house, or am I gonna rent for $4,000 a month? But having that middle ground, that hybrid of ownership and renting, that stepping stone between, is definitely a benefit for so many people. Most of our buyers, up until recently, have always kind of been between like 40 to 60 years old. We also have senior parks that are like 55 and over, but as of lately in the last 2 years, we've been having a lot of millennial buyers. That's just, they're starting to have money. They're starting to understand finances, what their options are. They're starting to get tired of paying rent every month. They realize it's about $45K or more a year that they're spending, and they're not getting anything back.
Just for rent.
Just for rent. And people don't actually, it's hard to understand the importance of ownership without having any options, right? People don't want to look at where their money's going because it's painful to look at it sometimes. When we did an analysis and comparison of someone renting at $3,500 a month versus owning a mobile home at $3,500 a month, the difference over 4 years was actually $90,000. So having $90,000 just by living in a different place and spending the same amount and having that benefit of $90K at the end of it makes a huge difference for so many people. And we've seen that happen many, many times. We did a case study of a client of ours, Hazel, that was able to get ahead because of that and had so much more money to be able to sell their mobile home and then purchase into a single family home later. Without that stepping stone, you're just paying rent all the time, and all the money is going towards the landlord, towards the homeowners, towards the rich people, right? How can you capture some of that payment to go back to your family, to benefit your family, and keep more of that money for yourself? And this is a lot of the stuff that the rich know and that isn't really taught to the middle class. How do we build assets? How do we acquire assets, and what are the benefits of home ownership? I wish these were taught in classes,
Sure.
But they're not, and that's really our goal, is to show people the big difference between rent and ownership. You were talking about my school background, not having a formal education. I think one of the most important things is to become resourceful. I never understood that. I thought that going through school is what's going to help me learn everything I need to know in life, but then come to find out there's tons of resources online, tons of YouTube videos, tons of articles where you can really learn if you really wanted to, but you have to be in the mindset of learning to really take in this information at the right time and in the right way, and applying it, yes. But is because I really had to make ends meet is what really made me try to learn as much as I could about housing, about rent, about affordability. And I feel like if you have the right mission or vision or thing that you need to fight for, if you're put in a situation where you need to learn, you will figure it out and you'll find out how to make things work. And I've had a lot of good models and friends that have built businesses that I've learned from too. And yeah. Find something you're actually passionate about, something that's gonna bring you a ton of energy. That's what worked for me. I never really chased the money, but I did chase something I truly cared about a lot, and it's helping the regular people get ahead. And for me, it was never the money, the dollars that we would make and that sort of thing, but knowing that I'd be able to make an impact for somebody's family and the future of their generational wealth. Also, a big thing about starting a business, I'd say, is being as resourceful as possible. That's the one word I feel like has helped me a lot, is how do you get information without a college degree? How do you learn? How do you solve problems on your own without any resources? That's one big thing for me. As of last year, we closed out on about 113 homes, and we plan to do a lot more than that this year. Keep in mind, our first year of business, we sold nothing, we built nothing, but it was the patience. I think back to, if this is for a business owner, it's really having a vision and a plan and having patience, because I worked for so long without seeing a dollar come in. I worked so many hours for free just to get an opportunity. But it's important to have that patience and have that passion and hard work to solve problems. Sometimes we just chase what gets us money quick, but that isn't, I rarely find that helps people that often. It's very sexy to find really cool, fast success stories, but I think most of the time you have to understand that there's going to be a lot of hard work that's involved with building anything that makes an impact. Oh, the pink Tesla. We call it Pinky. It's I don't know. I'm very loud about certain things. I'm always the least professional when it comes to these meetings. People in our industry are always try to be super suit and tie, suited up, materialistic. I'm just against that. I feel like there's a lot of people in suits that look like professionals but really can't get the job done. And That's just not my style. I like to stand out. I don't like fitting in. Back to kind of how I want to be remembered. I want people to realize that you don't have to be that perfect person or come from that perfect family to build a good business or to make a good impact. Pink Tesla, the hair, these are all things that in the old days really are just like looked down upon, or like this guy that probably isn't successful or that sort of thing. Whereas like nowadays, I have so many different friends that are business owners that are, you know, in a hoodie, that are very that live very humbly but create good impact. And yeah. Oh, that's a really good question. Thanks for making me think on that. One of the big things for us in the next 5 years is to really produce what we're doing at scale, to be able to reach further than we are today to other parks and other developments outside of mobile home parks as well. Factory built housing is really the future of construction, of real estate. The way we build these homes is really spectacular and amazing. Hopefully you can add some clips of how we build these in a factory. But everything that we own today is optimized in a factory. The phones, the iPhone that we have, it's built in a factory, the laptops, the cars. You're able to build value at a much more efficient and effective way by creating an assembly line in a way to produce this. Now, the only thing that hasn't been on an assembly line is the way we do construction. We bring crews out to different cities, build construction out on site, the old-fashioned way, the same as it's been for 20, 30 years. Now, the way we build these homes on an assembly line is way more effective. It's safer, it's cheaper, and it's better for the environment. And we definitely want to showcase how that will impact the world, how that will benefit people to get more housing out there for people. You definitely want to dive into those arms and build that out as well. But our focus solely in the next few years will definitely be mobile homes in parks. One of the things I'm looking forward to later down the line is really, hopefully this video inspires people to really not just make business for the sake of money. I feel like a lot of people chase money, but hopefully this inspires people to build businesses to create impact. Impact for society, impact for low-income people, anything that can really build benefit without chasing money. I think chasing money shouldn't always be your primary focus, and that's what I want to share to people.
Where can people find you if they want to live comfortably in the Bay Area?
Yeah, I mean, I guess to find us, I mean, you can find us on YouTube, Franco Mobile Homes, on Instagram, that sort of thing. If there's ever any question around housing, you can shoot us a text, shoot us an email. We'd gladly give as much info as we can. Follow our YouTube channel. We're trying to grow that to show people how sexy these homes can be and break that stigma of mobile homes. But yeah, first off, I mean, thanks to you, Boris, for putting this together and sharing our story, because I feel like both of us want to just create a good impact for people. So
cool. Thanks for your time, Franco.
Thanks.
All right, man.